Okay, ladies, thank you so much for coming today. We're going to be talking about pregnancy stories, postpartum stories, and just how to improve your health during that critical time in your life. Um, so just as an introduction, this is an event put on by Juice Plus, and so we'll all be sharing about how Juice Plus and whole food nutrition has impacted our health and everything surrounding our pregnancy experiences. So Elizabeth, I'm just going to go ahead and send it right over to you so you can share your story, and then we'll go from there.
Okay, sounds good. Don't mind me while I look at my notes a little bit to make sure I don't miss anything. Okay, so our pregnancy journey started about 8 years ago. We tried unsuccessfully to get pregnant for right at 8 years, and we did lots of different hormone treatments. And throughout the experience, I never had a doctor say, "What are you eating? What are you doing, like, with your body? Are you exercising?" And everybody just gave me a hormone to take. And when that's all you have, that's all you know. So then in March of 2014, we were on a new medicine in another country, and I had a miscarriage. I was only like 5 weeks, but it was pretty devastating. And at that point, we gave up and said we're going to adopt as soon as we get back to the States. So in May of 2014, I was introduced to Juice Plus. And Brian and I both started right away. We started the gummies because they taste good, and the shakes. So fast forward a year, and we're back in the States, and we had just completely given up on ever getting pregnant, and we're actually starting adoption paperwork. And then we got our list of possible assignments, and they were all overseas. So that threw adoption out the window because it's almost impossible to adopt while stationed overseas. Doable, but not easy. So we decided we were in the States. I could drive to Walter Reed in 12 hours. So we applied for the IVF program at Walter Reed. We got accepted. As soon as we got accepted in August, I immediately doubled up on my gummies and stayed doubling up through the whole IVF process. We were prepared for it to not work. We had so many friends and people that we knew that had done IVF multiple times. And so, everybody was like, mentally prepare yourself for, having to do this more than once. And I told Brian, I said, I can't do this more than one time. My mental capacity I can't take it. So I went in with a positive attitude. I took my Juice Plus twice a day. I took it when I did my morning shots, and I took it when I did my evening shots. And I had a healthy mantra, and I said to myself over and over again every day, we are happy, we are healthy, we are pregnant. Sorry. So we got pregnant on the first time. We had so many of my friends also had frozen embryos. So I was like, okay, if it doesn't work, we won't have to do this whole process again, because I'll have frozen embryos. We didn't have any. We had her. That was it. The only embryo that we had. And she worked, and she's growing a little bit ahead of schedule, in fact. So I doubled up on my Juice Plus through the first 8 weeks until I started getting pretty sick. And then I added shakes back in because I knew that there was no way I was getting the nutrition that I needed. Also, right at 8 weeks, I got put on pelvic floor rest, and I couldn't exercise. And everybody who knows me knows that that's a huge part of who I am, is exercising and yoga and running. But I had to do what I had to do to keep her in there. So I didn't exercise, and somehow with just eating Juice Plus and drinking my shakes every day loaded with healthy fats, put a half an avocado in there every day. I got to build her little brain up. Want her to be smarter than me if possible. Both of us together I've had a healthy weight gain. Well, maybe I got a little fussed at the beginning for not gaining enough because I was so sick. But we're right on track now, and still under the recommended weight gain with just using Juice Plus, and finally getting to add some activity back in. Brian also took Juice Plus through the whole process as well. So I know that that we had to have changed something internally in ourselves, that this miracle worked out for us the first time, when for so many people that it doesn't. And so that's my story.
And you're sticking to it. That's awesome. Yeah. Thanks, Elizabeth. Oh my gosh. I always tear up whenever I hear your story about how long you've waited, and then now it's happening, and you're going to have a little girl, and little girls are so awesome. Thank you so much for sharing your story. I know sometimes it can be hard to share something as personal as pregnancy struggles and all that. So thank you. So my story, I really started on Juice Plus postpartum. My first time around, I found out about it when I was pregnant. I wasn't open to hearing about it. I was under the mentality of pregnancy is the one time in your life where it's okay to be big. And I took that to heart. and I did not have a healthy pregnancy. I really didn't know what I didn't know. I didn't have anybody telling me how important it was to really nurture your body during pregnancy. I was clueless. And so I found out about Juice Plus while I was pregnant. Wasn't open to it. It wasn't until 6 months later, when my daughter was 4 months old, that I needed help. Like I had no energy. I wasn't sleeping, obviously, because I had a newborn, but I wasn't eating. I wasn't eating anything really. And I was nursing full time, and it's a miracle she was getting anything through me, because I just had no time to make anything. Everything I was eating was out of a box. And so I was just in a really bad place. And my friend shared Juice Plus with me, and I thought, well, if anything, it's going to get some nutrition inside of me, which I know I need. And so we started my whole family on the gummies. So we started, actually funny at the time, it was my husband, me, and then we bought gummies for my dogs. And my daughter was only 4 months old, so she didn't get gummies right away, but she was getting it through nursing. And within a couple months, I noticed huge changes. I started to make friends that had other babies around the same age as Leah, and I had energy throughout the day. I was no longer needing those naps. And when I wanted to take a nap, it wasn't because I needed it. I just wanted to snuggle up next to her. I was sleeping better at night. I had all these body aches and pains go away. And so when all those things started happening and I started to feel really great, it motivated me to start moving way earlier than I think I would have if I had not gotten that nutrition inside my body. So I started exercising and was able to get back to pre-pregnancy weight. Hi, Jael. Hopefully I'm pronouncing your name correctly. Hi. We've recorded this, so you can go back and listen to the first part of it.
Awesome. Thank you.
Yep. And I am just going to... Okay. Oh, sorry. Okay. And so I was able to get back to pre-pregnancy weight pretty easily. I wasn't any under crazy timeline. I just wanted to do it the healthy way. And through all of that, through that whole process, that whole year, I was able to nurse until 15 months, which was not a plan in the beginning. It just I just kept producing and producing. And then a year came, and then she started walking, and my husband started giving me a hard time. He's like, babe, when your baby starts walking up to you for milk, it's time to stop. But I just told him, I said, I'm still producing, so we're just going to keep going. And I think that it really came down to Complete for me, because, we were taking the gummies, but when we really started taking Complete, that's when I started to notice all of the tangible changes, all the energy and the milk production and all of that. And so back to pre-pregnancy weight. And then throughout the next couple years, my daughter's 5 now. So that's quite a long time of being on Juice Plus. But it really helped nurture my body when I was trying to get into the best shape of my life. And there's a lot of crazy ways of doing that. And I've probably tried a few that I wouldn't recommend. But thank goodness I had these fruits and vegetables in my gummies and my capsules and in these shakes to kind of like protect myself from all the crazy things I was trying. Thank goodness, because I could have really wrecked my body. So, I was able to get down to where I was happiest and where I really felt really great about myself. And then my husband and I decided, well, our daughter's about to turn 5. We know we want more kids. So if we're going to do this, we should probably do it soon. And when we made that decision, I got pregnant right away. It was like my body was like, oh, you're open to this? Let's do it. So we got pregnant right away last November. So now we're about 5.5 months along. And my pregnancy is so different from my last pregnancy. And it was quite a long time ago. So I didn't really remember medically what I was going through then. But right now I just noticed my energy levels are sky high. I'm sleeping great. Don't know if that'll continue in my 3rd trimester, but I'm sleeping great. And going to my doctor, we have these conversations. He's like, do you have any concerns? And I say, no, I have no concerns. I feel awesome. And he's like, great. Everything looks great on your blood pressure. And we looked back at my medical charts for my first pregnancy, and I had high blood pressure the whole time. And I remember at the very end having to, this might be TMI for those of you who haven't been through pregnancy, but when your blood pressure gets really high, you're at risk for preeclampsia. And then they make you pee into this big orange jug and you have to go in like every week. I had to do that my first time around. And I forgot about that. I had no idea I was that, that at risk. But so now my doctor, he looks at me now and he's like, there's no way you're the same person that, 5 years ago, you were going through all these issues and you were younger then. I was like, I know. Now I'm close to knocking on 33's door and I'm in better health than I was then. And so another thing that really made a big difference is I'm really big on like being emotionally in tune with how you manage your health and your wellness, right? And so I don't believe in killing yourself to maintain a certain body look or really damaging the internal mental part of health. And so really when I don't want to work out, I don't work out. And I work out when I know that it'll make me feel better and when I know that it'll give me that boost of endorphins. But other than that, I don't really pressure myself or make myself do anything that I don't want to do. And so I haven't been working out as much as normal during this pregnancy. I do it, when I want to, and I try to dance and stuff like that. But I've been able to maintain a pretty good amount of muscle tone, even though I haven't been, lifting as heavy or going as crazy in the gym. And so that's really nice to be able to be getting further along in my pregnancy and still be able to be strong and all of that. And so it's just been a really great thing for my whole family. Like Elizabeth said, my husband too also takes the Juice Plus gummies and the shakes. He probably has more shakes than I do right now because he has one for breakfast every morning and he has them post-workout. And he just loves the way that they make him feel. But yeah, so that's my whole thing, my whole pregnancy. Oh, I did forget my little girl. So when she started Juice Plus at 4 months old, I just have to preface this and say that I grew up in the South, and so we did not eat veggies unless it was like fried okra. That's probably the only veggie that we have. And so I didn't have the benefit of going into teaching her how to eat well. I did not have that education, nor did I have that experience. But let me tell you, my little girl, we call her a little vegan because at 5 years old, she wants broccoli and carrots for breakfast. She wants peas for lunch, and for dinner, all she wants are vegetables. And I have to every night, I'm like, honey, please don't eat just your vegetables. Like you have to eat the other food that's on your plate because she'll just eat the vegetables. And it's such a blessing that I don't have to worry too much about her growing up and not knowing the value of vegetables. So that's me. I'm going to hand it over to my friend Adrian here, and we'll listen to her story.
Thank you, Pam. Hopefully everybody can hear me okay and it's not jumping around. My computer seems to be lagging a little bit behind with the video, but so hopefully it comes through clearly. But basically, I kind of like to start my story by explaining a little bit about myself and how I am extremely hard on my body. I love to push my body to the absolute limit. I spent 7 years on active duty Army. I was a paratrooper. I was very into mixed martial arts, boxing, jiu-jitsu, Muay Thai, and love to lift weights and stuff like that. So, I really like to push physically to the limits. And I'm also absolutely passionate about nutrition and figuring out different ways to tweak my own diet and give myself a little bit of an edge. Um, I worked on my master's degree in nutrition and spent that time being a guinea pig of my own various diets. I tried things like the paleo diet, which was great. It gave me like ridiculously low body fat and I was really strong and shredded, but I never had energy. I didn't recover well when I was doing that type of diet. Just wasn't enough. It wasn't the right nutrients to sustain the kind of physical training that I really like to do. So that's kind of a little bit of a background on me. And then the next part of my story, I don't always share, but I feel like to get a complete picture of what Juice Plus has done for me in my life, that it's kind of important to share. And that not too long after I was doing, my mixed martial arts and things like that, my husband had been deployed to Afghanistan at the time. And when he came home, I got pregnant. And, that changes the way you use your body a little bit. I wasn't punching and kicking my way to health anymore, but I was in personal training school at the time to become a personal trainer. So I was getting a lot of physical activity. Turned out I was pregnant with twin girls, extremely complicated, high-risk pregnancy. So there was a lot of physical stress on my body with two babies inside and a lot of mental stress from the high-risk aspect. But long story short, I did have to have an emergency C-section with our twins, and both of our girls did pass away. So that was a huge physical stress with the surgery and a huge mental stress with the loss of our daughters. And just a few short weeks later, my husband went back to Afghanistan. So I was kind of left alone to rebuild, and I knew I needed to change my focus to a very holistic wellness. Mind, body, spirit, all of it was so important just to heal myself. And I really, although I still love martial arts and I still do progressive martial arts, I wanted to be more gentle to myself and not just so rough and hard on my body. So I did a lot of things like acupuncture. I did meditation. I did nutritious food. And as I healed my body, I did a lot of exercising. Fast forward 10 more months into the deployment, and my husband comes home, and I was pregnant within 3 days after he got back home. So that was the plan. But this pregnancy, oh my goodness, I got so sick, so sick. The 24-hour morning sickness. And I wasn't able to eat anything for 2 months, I guess, except oatmeal and pretzels. And that's if I could even keep those things down. So I really was getting no nutrition to my little baby. So when I heard about Juice Plus, it was just like a light bulb goes off immediately. And I knew I needed to get this nutrition to my belly bean. And I started taking it immediately. I felt amazing immediately. I don't know if that was coincidental to being like 10 weeks pregnant, or if, the Juice Plus probably helped some, making sure my nutritional needs were met, I'm sure. But from then on, I sailed through that pregnancy. My blood pressure was perfect, which same as Pam, during my previous pregnancy, I had some borderline high blood pressure issues. Nothing, I didn't have pre and I didn't have to pee in the jug, but it was always borderline. They always had me rest to take my blood pressure again. But I went to nearly 41 weeks pregnant with a huge, beautiful baby boy, and I had the most amazing all-natural labor with him. I definitely credit Juice Plus with, this is a little bit TMI too, again, for those who haven't gone through labor, but my water never broke. I would have had a 9-pound baby in the sac if the nurses hadn't broke it. I delivered my amniotic sac intact, which is so weird. But the Juice Plus, I know the vitamin C especially and all the nutrition in there just made for a super strong pregnancy, everything. So after recovering, gave myself the nice 12 weeks to be gentle. I started working out again, and I knew I needed to take things slowly. I do specialize in my training in pre and postnatal fitness, so I know how to heal myself. But I would get started working out, and I would be gentle, and I was never sore. So I was like, okay, I can push a little harder, and still never sore. I've gotten back into martial arts. I'm doing CrossFit, straight back into weightlifting, and I have yet to be sore or need a recovery day because I take my Juice Plus every day, and I swear that keeps me from needing extra recovery time. I've just had the most awesome postpartum experience. The fatigue is almost, I don't have any fatigue either. Everyone said, you're gonna have a newborn, he's gonna be stressing you out, he won't sleep, you won't sleep. I'm exclusively breastfeeding him, and I've had no exhaustion. I keep waiting to be the mom zombie that people talk about, and I have energy, and I'm there for him, and it's awesome. I do stay home with him all day, and we're best friends. And he's almost 8 months old now, and he's huge and beautiful, and he has never been sick in his 8 months of life. Not once. I credit breast milk and definitely Juice Plus for keeping our immune system pumped. I haven't been sick either. I can't remember the last time. So it's been wonderful. I mean, I had fuel for my recovery from my C-section. I had fuel for my pregnancy. I had fuel for labor because that takes a lot of fuel. Newborn fueled the breast milk. It's just been wonderful, and I think that Juice Plus really countered all that stress, the physical and mental stress in my life. So that's my Juice Plus baby story, and thank you again for having me on here, Pam, and I'll let you give some concluding words now.
Thanks, Adrian. Oh my gosh, I learned something new about you every time you share your story. I'm so excited now to have this Juice Plus baby. Because even though I called Leah my little vegan, I didn't have Juice Plus when I was pregnant with her. And so hearing your story, it just makes me so excited about this little Ben in the oven. So does anybody have any questions for any of our speakers today before I close us out? Feel free to unmute yourselves. We had some people trickle in. I'm excited to see who Jael is. Hopefully I'm saying your name right. Okay, so if we don't have any questions, if you're curious about what Juice Plus is, you can always contact the person who told you about this call. They can explain more of it in detail. Basically, we like to say it's a salad bar in a capsule, and you're getting the nutrition of 30 fruits and vegetables inside of a capsule. And with the shakes, you're getting also 14 more plant foods. And so it is all whole food, better than organic, non-GMO, vegan, dairy-free, gluten-free, just fruits and veggies and good stuff that you're getting into your bodies to make your bodies the best healthy vessels that they can be. There's a variety of different ways that you can incorporate Juice Plus into your life. You can simply just take Juice Plus and add it into your life. You can also do a Transform 120 program, which really gets you on this path to a plant-based lifestyle. It gets you really thinking about the variety of foods that you're eating and taking out some of the more inflammatory foods. Right now, we're doing a 10-day shred or a 10-day cherish for those of us who are pregnant, where we are really dialing in on our nutrition and our lifestyle choices, eliminating inflammatory foods, but really also focusing on building our bodies up with nutrition, lots of colorful foods, focusing on getting as much sleep and rest as possible, exercise, drinking water, just this whole holistic view of how to make your bodies as healthy as possible. And so any of those programs, if you're curious about, just feel free to contact the person who invited you here. And I just want to thank you guys so much for coming to listen to this. And we will have this recorded. If you'd like the recording, just get in contact and we will make sure you have the link and you can share it with whoever you'd like. So thank you so much. Any last minute questions? No? All right. It's been great seeing your beautiful smiling faces. So have a great, great day and we'll get this out to you guys soon. Thank you so much.